What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we're going to be doing my match reaction, match analysis and match review of Borussia Dortmund's game against Manchester City in the Champions League group stage, which did finish 0-0 and was enough for Borussia Dortmund to secure qualification to the last 16 of the Champions League and also confirm Manchester City's top spot in the group as well with a game to spare. But before we do crack on with all the talking points of this game, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, you want to help to support my channel, then do subscribe, press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. Aiming for 28k subscribers, now less than 500 subs away, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget as well, social media links there in the description below, sliding across at the bottom of the screen. If you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram, my email also in the description below too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries, do leave a thumbs up as well if you do enjoy this video. 200 likes once more is the aim, and also don't forget as well to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Lastly, this video is sponsored and it is brought to you by Cup of Tea, who provide t-shirts, merchandise and all your latest good needs. Kind people over at Cup of Tea have been very nice in sending me this Erling Haaland t-shirt. Lovely quality, lovely and soft, really smooth, feels really nice on the skin. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Good high quality t-shirts at really affordable prices, so do go and check them out. The link is in the description. So let's crack on then with this video, and we're going to start off by speaking about Man City's lineup that we went with yesterday against Borussia Dortmund, because I think that's where the biggest talking points are here from this game. And it was a very odd lineup. I wasn't expecting Manchester City. I think they made 6 changes in this game to rotate so heavily for this game, considering if should Manchester City have lost this game, it would have put us in a very difficult position in terms of finishing top of this group. So Man City and Pep Guardiola in particular selecting the team here has took a big risk for this game, a risk that albeit has paid off, and I think both teams by the full-time whistle were more than content with the point, more than content with the 0-0. However, it does mean that Man City over the last 2 away games in the Champions League haven't scored a goal. They've drawn both games 0-0, and I can't help but feel that should we have stayed with 11 men rather than 10 men, and we'd put our opportunities away through the unluckiness of VAR in that Copenhagen game and put our penalties away in both the Copenhagen game and this game, fine margins, then we would have been absolutely cruising through the groups and we wouldn't have had these talking points, but we do, so we're going to address them. So City, first big call, Stefan Ortega Moreno started and made his Manchester City not only Champions League debut but also his debut for Manchester City as well, keeping a clean sheet. You can't say fairer than that, and actually Ortega, in my opinion, was the Manchester City man of the match for this game, and I give him that award. Keeping a clean sheet. It's not easy just coming in when you've played literally no games and you're playing second fiddle to a brilliant goalkeeper like Ederson. So when you get told you're coming in and you've just got to hit the ground running, you've got to hit them high standards immediately, it's very, very difficult to do. And I thought Ortega did a very good job to a point where he's only played 1 game for Manchester City, but should Ederson pick up an injury, then I feel very comfortable and confident that Ortega can take over the reins and do a very good job. Distribution, he's a brilliant shot stopper, well used to life in the Bundesliga, saved the most shots last season in the Bundesliga as well. We've got ourselves a nice little coup there for free as well, picking him up too. So I was very impressed with Ortega in this game. The next big call City went with John Stones, only just come back from injury and gets chucked into the starting 11, not even a game or two where you can have 15 minutes here, 20 minutes there. No, into the starting 11, you're starting in this game. Now, I love Johnny Stones. I think he's a fantastic player, and I'm hoping that he can keep himself injury-free from now until the World Cup, and it'll be good to go for England, because I think England are much better having Johnny Stones at the back. I think Manchester City are better having Johnny Stones at the back as well. Offers quality competition for the Manchester City backline. Brilliant with ball distribution, brilliant in the air, there, a good reader of the game. He's got good charisma, a good personality to have around. He's also got a good shot on him, as well as Dortmund already know from that match at the Etihad as well. So I was surprised to see him start in this game, but it was nice to see Johnny Stones returning. Next big call, going with no Kevin De Bruyne, no Bernardo Silva, two of our most creative players, not starting either of them. And I thought we lacked a little bit of creativity in this game, and obviously having De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva on the bench isn't going to help that case. And it seemed very strange. It was almost like Alvarez sitting as a second striker at the top part of the midfield, Erling Haaland starting as Man City striker, of course, and having Phil Foden out on the left-hand side and Riyad Mahrez, another big call going on the right-hand side. I wanted to see Grealish start in this game. I'm going to presume he's going to start against Leicester and not in this game, but we'll speak more about Riyad Mahrez in just one moment. So Man City did make a couple of substitutions. Erling Haaland came off at half-time for Bernardo Silva, and Akanji came on for Joao Cancelo. Joao Cancelo's not really getting rotated too much due to the injury to Kyle Walker, so that would explain why he was brought off. There is no injury concerns there. Erling Haaland apparently wasn't feeling too well. Also got a little niggle in his foot as well. I'm hoping he'll be good to go for Leicester, because I think Man City are better, far better, having Erling Haaland around than not having him around. So I'm hoping he'll be good to go for that game against Leicester. We also saw Cole Palmer come on for Mahrez, and Jack Grealish towards the end come on for Phil Foden as well. So good minutes there for Cole Palmer, albeit only 5 or so minutes at the end, but 5 minutes at the end is better than no minutes. So in terms of my summary for how the players performed, Julian Alvarez I didn't think had his greatest game, and it's very harsh for me to criticise Alvarez. It's a new competition, a new club, in a new country. Everything's new, and it is going to take time. It always takes 2 seasons to adapt at Manchester City, in particular under Pep Guardiola, because he's so demanding. He demands perfection. He wants perfection. He wants you to have that mentality. You've got to want it, and Alvarez does have that. And there's going to be some games where he's going to be exceptional. He will make the difference, and there will be games there to come where he will make the difference. I guarantee you of that, because he is a fantastic football player. From what I've seen between the beginning of the season and now, I've been impressed with Julian Alvarez, and I'm backing him to bounce back for Manchester City. I didn't think Erling Haaland had his greatest game. I thought Mats Hummels kind of had Erling Haaland's number. He knows how to man mark him. He's just as physical as him, and they know, I'm obviously already playing for Borussia Dortmund and training with him week in, week out from the previous couple of seasons. I think they know how to deal with Erling Haaland and keeping him quiet, and it'll take something special for him to grab a goal against them, which he managed to make happen at the Etihad. He didn't have the full 90 minutes here to try and make that happen, so we'll never know. But I think it just showcased how strong Dortmund's defence can be to keep a quality player like Haaland quiet, and I'm wondering how long it's going to take for Premier League clubs to realise it's going to take 2 or 3 centre-backs playing a 3 at the back to keep Haaland quiet, and having 2 or 3 of them centre-backs around Haaland at all times. So it should give a little bit more space to the other players around at Manchester City, which I thought in this game is where we lacked a little bit of quality and creativity, and missing players like Bernardo and Kevin De Bruyne featuring in this game. If we had them, then who knows what might have happened. But City still did have their opportunities, including that penalty miss by Riyad Mahrez, who I'm bouncing for Riyad Mahrez to come back. Now, people have been saying he's past it, he's a has-been. Why have we put him on such a long extension? He was brilliant for Manchester City last season. Now, we didn't have a striker last season, so I thought that suited Riyad Mahrez down to the ground. He was getting regular minutes for Manchester City. Right now, he's a rotated option at Manchester City, so it's different. So it's going to take time to adjust. And if you used to give Riyad Mahrez consecutive games, you used to give him 4, 5, 6 games in a row, by the time you get towards the latter parts of that, he'll be well within his gears and he'll be showing his quality, because he is a high quality player. He walks into most other Premier League teams starting 11 because he is that good even now. Technically brilliant. He's still got that lovely ball control about him. He's just lacking that little bit of confidence. Now, to me, he shouldn't be on penalty duties for Manchester City. He's a confidence penalty taker, and once he's taken a couple of penalties, and if he puts them into the back of the net, then I'd say I've not got no problem with Riyad Mahrez taking penalties. But once that miss happens, I think his head's gone down, and obviously that miss against Copenhagen, seen his head go down, and he'll be feeling worse for wear right now after missing this penalty as well. That's back-to-back penalty misses for him, and questions are going to get asked of him. Now, Riyad Mahrez is the type of player that if there was to be another penalty on the pitch and he is on the pitch, he'll go and ask the question, can I take that penalty? Because he's got firm belief in himself, and Pep Guardiola likes that. I like that about Riyad Mahrez as well. He's got a real good can-do attitude, but I think there's other options on the pitch. Erling Haaland wasn't on the pitch at the time, so we can't speak about that, but when he is on the pitch, to me, Erling Haaland, with how good he is in front of goal, should be our penalty taker. But at the time, on the pitch, Manchester City did have players like Bernardo Silva, technically brilliant, knows that he's got to keep the ball low. He could be an option. Ilkay Gundogan's a decent penalty taker as well, could be another option. Who knows how good Julian Alvarez, we've not seen him take a penalty. He could be an option. Well, we could even have Ederson if he was on the pitch. He could be an option. He said he'd like to take a penalty. He'd like to see, well, I can imagine him just putting his foot through it and going down them lines. So to me, Riyad Mahrez has had his chances from the penalty spot. It hasn't happened, unfortunately, and if there's other players out there that want to take the penalty spot kick, then I'd rather see other players taking them until we get to a point where Mahrez's confidence is up, grab a goal or two, City 2-3 up. I've got no problem with Mahrez taking a penalty to see if he can get over that little mental block that perhaps he does have there. But if it's a crucial situation, it's a 0-0 like in this game, then I'd like to have seen Captain Gundogan step up. He's got the captain's armband, former Dortmund player himself. He's a decent penalty spot kick taker as well, so he could well have been an option there for Manchester City. I think John Stones would probably have a decent penalty on him as well. So these are all options. Cancelo, you'd imagine, should be pretty good at taking penalties. So there's got to be other options out there for Manchester City. But as it is, it wasn't of importance against Copenhagen. It wasn't of importance against Dortmund here. But at some point in the season, it will be of importance. So that is definitely something worth bearing in mind and thinking about. I think as a whole for this game, City, it's got the job done. We walk away from the game, we're top, we've qualified, and we can rest all our players next week against Sevilla. We had more possession, we were good in our aerial duels, we were good in our duels one as well. We just didn't put our one opportunity away. We know how tight Dortmund can be at the back. They're a very defensive team when they get it going about them. They're a very difficult team to break down, so when you get presented that opportunity, we know what it takes to put them into the back of the net. We didn't do that in this game, and that is how it is. What was very surprising though, we hit 902 passes at a pass completion rate of just under 93%, which was brilliant. We did everything but lack a bit of creativity and have that finesse in front of goal to win this game. But it wasn't detrimental for Manchester City here, but it could be in the future, and I think there's definitely some learning points here for Manchester City going forward into the game against Leicester and going towards these big important games that we've got coming up before the World Cup. But as it is, obviously I had 24 hours or so to sit back and reflect on this. It's not the worst result in the world, it's not the best result in the world, it's got the job done. A point in Dortmund is a decent point. If this was the first game of the group stage, I'd be saying I'm pretty happy with a 0-0 in Dortmund, because it means we've got the games coming at the Etihad, and City have done the job at the Etihad against all of our opposition. So we're unbeaten in the Champions League still, and we've got a match against Sevilla next week with a free hit where hopefully a couple of our young players can be given a chance and they can showcase what they can do, and any players lacking a bit of confidence or needing a bit of rotation, needing a bit of a rest, can have that rest, and other players can come in as well. So it'll be an interesting game to say the least, I'm sure, there for Manchester City. So we will be back again later on today. I've got a transfer update coming for you guys. I've also got the preview coming up for the Leicester game as well. So plenty more Manchester City content to come. So if you haven't done so already, then please do subscribe. That'd be much appreciated. Don't forget social media links. They're in the description below, sliding across at the bottom of the screen. If you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram, my email also in the description below too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries, do leave a thumbs up as well if you do enjoy this video. 200 likes is the aim. Also, don't forget, most importantly, do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. 0-0. Are you happy? Riyad Mahrez on penalty duty. Who would you like to see take the next penalty for Manchester City if it's not Erling Haaland? Let me know in the comments below. And also don't forget to go and check out today's video sponsor, Cup of Tea. All links and details, they are in the description. Sending me this wonderful Erling Haaland t-shirt. You can go and check that out. I'll leave the link in the description, and I'll see you all again real soon. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.